I am currently taking an eBay store from almost $0 in monthly sales to $5,000 and $10,000 per month in revenues. Come along with me. I'm going to show you how we're building it and how it's gone for the very first month and how it's going to go for the next couple of months. Hey, what's going on, Rockstars? Welcome back into the channel, and I wanted to do an update video since we just started selling on our previous second eBay store about a little over a month ago, maybe a month and a week ago. It was down to about $300 in sales for a 30-day period. We neglected that account for about 4 to 4.5 months while I started and built up my fulfillment center, listing and photographing for everyone. If you're interested in that, it'll be linked below for listings, and you can email ecommercelisters@gmail.com for fulfillment if you need us to do your photos and listings. So we let that store drop. It was somewhere around like $300 or $400 for the month of like May or June, all the way back to December of last year, where the store was doing about $12,000 in a month for revenue. So we do about 55% profits for anybody that's going to ask. So we allowed that store to go from that 12,000 down to what, about 4% of its total revenue. Pretty crazy when you think that it was only about a 4 to 5 month break that we did not list a single item on the store. I barely ran sales. I barely even looked at the store only to see if we shipped anything or sold anything to ship. We have now had it running at full boat again for about 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. I stopped on July 21st doing other work, and I started up sometime around the last couple days of July, listing regularly on the eBay store. So all of August, and now today is September the 3rd, and we are up to several $1,000s in sales for August. That was the first full month, so not a bad start. I had predicted 1 month we would do 3 to 4 grand. By month 2, we wanted to do 5 to 6, and by month 3, we wanted to get as close to 10,000 as we could. I'll be happy with 8 or 9,000. Let me take you over to my store. Let me show you what I'm selling. I have a niche, of course, on this store. I'll show you the other store that was still selling full boat while we were in that break, and I'll kind of take you through our routine and how we took the store from $300 to $3,000 plus in just a couple of weeks, and how you guys can get on it as well. Okay, so I'm back here on my screen. I'm going to show you both of the eBay breakdowns here and the numbers. So this store has 3,800 listings here, almost 4,000. You can see that. And when you scroll over here, granted, we had one really big day. This is about a $70,000 90-day, $25,000 per 31 days. The last one today, almost $200. Not on good pace today, but in the last 7 days, 3,000. 7 days times, what is that? About $400 a day, a little more than $400 a day. So right now the store's going to be coming down. We haven't done as much sales lately, but that is maintained all the way through. So let's go over, let me minimize this one. Let me maximize this one. This is the store we let go to 0. And so you can see in the last 7 days, we're averaging a little bit about $110, $111 per day. The last 30 days, 26, and the last 90 days up to 42.35. Now, most of this has been in the last 45 to 60 days. So we expect this 30-day total to hit 3,000 in the next couple days once it starts updating. Probably at the end of this month, we expect this to easily double. We should be over 5 easily, probably closer to 6,000, and put this number somewhere up in the 8,000-9,000 range. We want to be, by the end of October, the first month of fourth quarter, up over 7,500. That's the goal. We want to be at 10 to 12,000 by the end of the year, which would have been just August, September, October, November, December, in 5 months to bump it up 2,000 to 3,000 per month. You can look at our days: $248, $151, $230, $154, $116, $104, $159, $126. You can see we're averaging in that low hundreds. We're going to start getting this up to doing tons of $200 days, and that's how we'll be at $6,000 for the month. Hopefully by the end of September here, start of October, and again, 75 to 8,000 by the end of October. So this is where the numbers are now. This store just went over 3,000 listings. We listed a couple hundred last week. It was down to about 21 or 2,200 a month ago. So we've grown it about 800 listings less what we've sold. You can see all of the numbers, the listing impressions, the click-through rate, the listing page views, and the sales conversion rate, 5.1%, have all gone up. you can see ad sales, advertising. We have 35 drafts right now, which I'm getting ready to go make 20 of those live. I'll keep 15 for tonight and tomorrow as Kate gets more up tomorrow. And so that's, we're top rated across the board. We did have a transaction defect. We had one, which was really weird. I respond to everything. I don't know how that happened. But that's pretty much the basis of what you see from a store that went from zero. Now, let me show you, everybody always wants to see, kind of where we're at. If we just go to seller, and the name of the store, the link is below if you want to go check it out. It's Treasure Chest FL. So again, a little over 3,000 items. We sell mostly remote controls. If you select our home audio remote controls, there's 500 of those. So that is, out of our 3,000, it's about, I don't know, 10% of 5,000, 20, I don't know, somewhere in that 15, 20% range, something like that. We have more that are probably not in that category. We have, when you go to our clothing and shoes, probably a couple hundred, 200 pieces. Video games and consoles, we don't really have very much, 5 pieces of that. But if you look at our postcards, topographical, that's over half of our store, 1,700. So that plus the 500 remotes, 2,200 is the majority of our store. Business industrial, again, we're only going to have a couple items. Home and garden, we're only going to have a couple of items. So sports cards, that's going to be the other, sports memorabilia, sports clothing, and sports cards. That's going to be our other 500. So you got 17, 5, and 5, which puts us at 27. And then the other 300 or so are spread out over some random stuff. Here is all, whoa, see, this is why you do store audits on your store. Look at this. We have a $1,600 remote listed. Look at that. It should have been probably $16 or $20. I don't know what happened there, big typo. But this is why you do edits, guys, in real time. You found it. Everything we sell is used. We only have 23 brand new items out of all our stuff. I don't even know what we have that's brand new. Oh yeah, the kitchen sink, the LuLaRoe, a jersey with new tags. We have a few items that are brand new. Not much. Some LuLaRoe going on there. We sell this LuLaRoe. Hate all you want. We sell it. But if you come back over here and you go to our sold listings, this is what people want to see. Remotes. We sell a lot of remotes. 10, 13, 34, 25. We sell some postcards. People buy multiples of these. 15, 6, 12. See a lot of 15s, a lot of 10s, 20s. Our remote sales are about half around $9, $10, $12, and half 31 above 25. There's a 49. Our average remote sale, we sold a $150 remote. We sold, a pair for 12, lots of 10s and 12s, 18, 45. But when you average it all out with these 45s, these 20s, these 10s, our average remote sale comes out to about $18 to $19. With fees and shipping, it's about $11 in pocket. I pay very little. I pay pennies generally for the remotes. So with that said, my profit margin is $11 an item. I generally have no cost of goods, if very little, because I spread it out. It's like I can put 5 cents in every remote. So that's where we're at. When we sell, when I say we're going to do $6,000 this month in sales, we know that eBay gets 13%, plus I give them a little bit of promoted, so I call it 15 with the eBay store. We know that the shipping label on an average remote control is about $4. So if I'm selling a $20 remote, it's $4. That's 20% of my shipping. 20% of my price went to shipping. So that's 35%. My cost of goods is less than 1%. And all my other assorted materials and costs and all that, less than 1%. So I'm basically giving up less than 40. You can call it 37, 38. I'm making about 60 to 62% on my total all-in pocket. So if I do 6,000, it's about $3,700, $3,800 in profit. So that kind of gives you guys the breakdown. If we do 10 grand, we'll make about $64, $6,400 once we hit that 10 grand number. So that's a solid little income. That's a $70,000, $80,000 profit on this one eBay store when we get to that $10,000 mark. You guys can grow this. We are currently listing about 25 to 30 items per day, give or take. That's our kind of goal, is 25. If we get 30, 35, that's even better yet. I think we had a few of those. Kate's up to 35, so she probably did 25 or 30 today. Had 5 or 6 sitting around in there I got to look at. So that's it. That's how we take a store from zero, almost zero, $300-$400 up to $3,000 or $4,000 this month, and $10,000 by the end of the year. $12,000 would be even better. I'd love $12,000. That would mean we were making $7,000, $8,000 in profit. The other store is going to keep cranking. Of course, obviously with Amazon and YouTube and sponsorships and affiliates and store audit reviews and coaching that I do and wholesale and bulk. There's tons of other streams of income, but this is just for normal people who want to focus on one stream of income, who think that it's impossible to make $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 a month. This is a realistic look at what it would take to do that. Whether your niche is remotes or whether it's comic books or whether it's sports cards or whether it's clothing, you can do the same thing with clothing, selling it for $15, $20, $25. This requires 3,000 active listings, but it actually doesn't. If I got rid of all of the postcards and all of the sports cards, which are 2,200, and I only had, say, 1,000 remotes, you could do these numbers with 1,000 or 1,500 listings. I have 3,000 listings because I'm working on some other stuff, and I'm going to purge out probably about 500 pieces. So you can easily do this with 2,000. You could probably do it with about 1,500, 1,200, somewhere in that neighborhood. If your items are good and their sell-through rates are good, etc. We list 20, 25 a day, like I said. And the amount of work, it takes Kate probably about 2 to 2.5 hours to do her listing. And for me to source, it doesn't take any time because I have everything shipped in. So 0 time, just a couple emails. Once it arrives, I do have to pull out the good stuff, sort through it, and clean and test it. That's part of the deal. But the total amount of work that you would have to do on this if you had inventory shipped in, about 3 to 4 hours a day. You can maintain these numbers and hit 5, 6, 7, up to 8 or 10,000, depending on your items. So yeah, it requires work. It requires a full-time gig. If you're, depending if you're driving around and sourcing, it's going to take you all day because you need a few hours to go sourcing, 8-hour days. So I think that's it. I think we covered everything. How much time, how many actives, how many solds, how much profit, where the store was, where the store is going, and how you can maintain all of this as one person or even 2 people. Because if it wasn't for Kate, I would be doing this stuff. But again, I work on YouTube and other streams of income. So that's why we kind of split the work up. So if there's any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to know about eBay, anything you need help with, please leave it below in the comments section as always. And if you want me to do one-on-one audits and reviews of your eBay store, coaching you with your store, helping you get it in line, Rockstarflipper@gmail.com. My email is 7 days a week, Rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and I will help you. We have a 1-week, 2-week, and 4-week plan where I'll go through your store. I'll help you fix prices and promoted and sales and listings and descriptions and everything you can think of. We'll go through and we'll get it right, and we'll get the sales coming back up as quickly, hopefully, as this store is growing or as my other store. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for hitting the like button. It means a lot. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe. Come back, watch future videos. And until next time, enjoy your evening, and I'll see you later.